ultimate deck podcast. Need a show about outdoor living? This is where it's at with your hosts Shane Chapman and Way Laurent. Thank you for tuning in. Now let the show begin. Yeah, the ultimate deck podcast. Let's go.
Welcome back, friends, family, and the deck industry universe. It's Shane and Wade for episode 200 of the Ultimate Deck Podcast. I don't know which button it was. So
You actually have that button
did it
on
with
there
my mouth
somewhere.
instead. Turns out we didn't have to spend $800 and sing at all. We could just make the sounds with our voices. The dumb thing is we record our own voices and then play them back. We know how to do the sounds that are on there.
Yeah.
Good God, man, it's been like 4 weeks since we recorded it. Well, not since we recorded. We recorded a few episodes down at Deck Expo, but man, oh man, has it been a trip since Deck Expo.
Oh, okay, look here. My phone's back now. I was trying to get logged into the live on YouTube.
Yeah.
It wasn't working, but it's here now.
You're the only one.
No.
The
That's not true.
last few weeks have been nothing short of craziness, starting and being kicked off with Deck Expo down in Las Vegas. We haven't even had an episode to talk about that yet, so we're going to chat about that a little bit today.
Mm-hmm.
But we went down to Las Vegas from Sunday to Friday, had a great time down there, got back at 12:30. I'm just explaining the time frame here and the explanation of our absence, and then we'll get into the details.
Okay.
Got back at like 12:30 in the morning on Friday night, or Saturday morning, I guess.
Yeah.
And then went immediately into Grey Cup Festival, which we had missed part of.
Yep.
Had
Thursday and Friday.
some friends in from Fortress to take part in that with us.
Yep.
So Saturday we got back.
And Contractor came down from Saskatoon.
And Contractor, yeah. Immediately went into party mode on Saturday, did the Grey Cup festivities. Immediately went to the Grey Cup game and festival and stuff on Sunday. Then immediately had a contractor event with Fortress on Monday.
In Regina.
Then immediately went to Saskatoon to have a contractor event with Fortress in Saskatoon. Then moved into Agribition. And then Agribition started on Saturday, which is a gigantic trade show. I don't know if I'd call it a trade show, but
Friday, Monday.
So
Monday. It started on Monday.
No, it started on. Did it start Monday?
Yeah.
Who can tell?
So
Okay, fine. Well, Monday to Saturday. So did set up on the weekend.
yes.
I don't even know, man. Anyways, Agribition is a large agricultural show that happens in Regina. There's like 100,000 people that come to this thing. It's a big deal in the ag world.
Yeah.
And we put a booth into it this year. So
And
we were
it's like
there
a
all week.
Worldwide event, right?
Yeah, there's people here from all over the world. A lot of business happens in the ag industry at it. And we thought, what a great place to be in front of these people. So we did that. And that was a week-long event.
Yep.
So that ended on like just this past Saturday.
Yeah.
Tear down, get out of there, get back into the office really for the first time on Monday, which was a write-off because it was just like meetings. People like, hey, we need you. Like, write-off. Tuesday, Wednesday. Like, it's just been
Then
wild.
I took off, went to Saskatoon because I hadn't been in Saskatoon for a while, so I went up there.
Yeah. Came back from this whole thing with like 30 bookings on our plate, and it's like they're all due this week. And it's like, so it's just been a wild. I would say almost 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. So
It's been a lot.
apologies. We haven't been active on the TikTok. We haven't been active on the podcast. There's been no 10s episodes. There's been no Instagram posts. There's just been like glued to the computer and trying to ignore the world.
Yep.
So
I'm not managing this online YouTube thing well. This is not.
no, it's really got your attention. That's for sure.
It has my full attention because you said I need to comment. I need to watch for the comments.
Okay, fine. Would you like me to take your attention away from that with some would you rathers?
Yeah, let's do a would you rather.
Number 1, would you rather find a dead body or witness a deadly assault?
Find the dead body.
I think that's the less incriminating one, right?
Yep.
Unless they don't know how the dead, like,
No.
unless they're looking at you and be like, convenient, huh? That you found
Yeah, but
the dead body.
then they have to prove that you did that. Whereas if you watch a deadly assault, you're like,
But what if nobody saw you witness it? So then if you said nothing,
Nope.
not incriminated.
find the dead body.
Okay, fine. I agree with you. I think I'd rather find the dead body. You can act.
I wouldn't be able to
as
watch
the not the savior, but like definitely not the savior. But you going to the authorities, finding a dead body, you're a good person for doing that.
Yeah.
Witnessing the assault is like,
then I'd be witnessing an assault, and then I'd be participating in another assault.
Right.
Is how that would happen for me.
Sure. Number 2, only be able to wash your hair twice a year, or only be able to check your phone once a day.
only be able to check my phone once a day.
Agreed. Like that'd be tough for me. Once a day that's a big ask, but twice a year washing your
But
hair.
if you never
that's
turned it off,
disgusting.
you're just checking it the whole day.
That's what I'm wondering.
One time.
I was going to bring that up. Is
But
there
if
a
the
time
screen
parameter?
if the screen goes black, then you're done for the day.
So if you give me an hour, because like it's job for me too. Like
It's
I
both.
post stuff on there too, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, sure, I could give up the mindless stuff, but I still need to be on there at some point in time to do stuff for the business. So you got to give me at least an hour.
Yep.
And then fine. But not washing your hair. Man, if I don't wash my hair for 2 days, it's like,
Yeah.
oh boy. I wear hats too often to not be washing my hair frequently. Number 3 and the final one. Would you rather eat a live worm or be locked in a room with a tarantula for an hour, but you don't know where it is?
Live worm. I would eat the live worm.
Oh. Yeah, there's a lot of questions left unanswered in that question for me. Earthworm? Sure. But what if it's like some big like
Well, that's
raunchy like Australian worm that like
I thought of
it'll
earthworm.
eat its way back out of you?
That's what's relevant to me. Earthworms are relevant to me.
Not right now, they're not.
Well, they're froze. They're
What about like a
frozen.
mealworm or like
Sure, mealworm I'd eat
if it's a one bite
because then
meal,
I'd be full.
then sure.
Have a meal.
An hour without the tarantula, I don't know. Like if it was a pitch black room, that changes things a lot for me. If I can see where it is and I can
No,
move
it says
around,
right in there you can't see it. You don't know where it is.
you don't know where it is. It doesn't say you can't see in the room though.
Oh yeah.
For me, it would be the fear of like in a dark room, it's like, is it going to jump on me or crawl on me? That would freak me out. But if I could see around, it's just like, where's it going to come out of? And I get a chance to react, then that's different.
The boys.
Anyway.
So we have 2 comments in here, and both comments say they can't hear anything.
Come on.
I can't hear anything. And then, oh, it's not just me?
Well, I worried about this because this thing wasn't showing that there was sound coming through. I don't know how to fix that, you guys. So
I overpromised. I said you were on it.
like I'm trying to be on it right now, but I don't know how effective I'm going to be at solving this little problem we have here. So you talk and I'll
Do you
see if I
think
can
that
figure this out here.
At one time we had to plug the mic into the front of the board?
It is.
Oh, yeah.
I have this thing plugged in here.
Yeah. Did you have to turn this on somehow?
Well, that's turned way up, so I feel like they should be able to do that. I feel like they should be able to hear everything. Anyway, keep talking, and I'm going to keep trying to figure this out. You're on your own here.
Okay.
Well, all we were going to talk about today was going through what we've been up to, which started with Deck Expo, so you can feel free to...
Levi's been messing with his settings for 5 minutes. He thought it was him.
So that's not ideal.
Okay, so Deck Expo is quite the week. It's been a long time since we've been to a show, right? Like we haven't,
Yes.
we have not attended any of the JLCs or anything like that. So we did it all. We went in Sunday. We
Yep.
went to the football game. Not a bad stadium.
Not a bad one to take in a game, no, that's
It's
for sure.
Absolutely massive. So that was pretty good. It was a lot of fun. Oh yeah, there.
Not that one, what I
The
just learned.
the prices in Vegas I have found are high now. Vegas has decided to make back all of their money they lost in COVID this year.
Yes.
They're going to do a 1-year turnaround on that. And what else did we do? We took in a hockey game. We went to a booth with Trex and took in a nice game. So it was a pretty good hockey game. I don't know that there is a more fun sporting event than watching a hockey game in Vegas.
So I think I would agree with you.
They put on
a hell of a show, that's for
Pretty
sure.
great show.
Yes.
It's obvious that I've become old because there were a couple of points when I thought it was too loud. I was like, well, this could be a little bit quieter.
Really?
Like it doesn't need to be quite this loud. But
Yeah,
So-
that's old man stuff for sure.
yeah, we hung out on Fremont Street. We went to some like industry events with guys. Yeah, I don't know. Did you gamble? You didn't gamble at
No,
all.
I made an attempt at gambling, and I wish you wouldn't have like threw that story at me right now because I do have a story, but I want to check the back of the mic real quick. So just
Oh, okay.
keep talking for a second.
I didn't gamble. I didn't spend a dime. What else? Do you want to talk about like some of the
I'm back. I can tell
products
my
that we
story.
saw. I don't know. I feel like I want to talk about all those things, but you're only half in right now.
I am only half in because I'm trying to figure out the sound issue. And I don't understand why it's not playing. I can see that it's not going there. However, all the mics are showing me that it's going there. The gambling thing. So I'm not a gambler at all, so I wasn't going down there looking forward to gambling.
That's
by
not
any
true.
stretch
You
of the-
gamble every day.
Well,
You buy decking and
there's that.
hope to sell it.
Yeah, but I don't generally try like casino gambling. I don't do that kind of gambling.
Yeah.
Too much money during the rest of my life to worry about.
Or VLTs. Do you ever just put $20 into VLT?
So that is, if I'm going to do a type of gambling, that's pretty much it. I might do 100.
Oh, wow.
So that's what I tried to do. I
Okay.
attempted to put $100 in the machine. And it was like the last day that we were going to be there. And I thought, you guys, I was ready early. We were all going to go out for supper. And I was like, I'll finally do it. I'll finally go sit downstairs by myself and throw $100 in the machine and see what happens. So I went to go take the $100 out of one of the little ATMs at the casino.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, the first like 2 or 3 I found were all out of service. I was like, geez, I can't spend money here. They don't want me to.
Huh.
Finally found one that was in service, put my card in, all was going well. And it was like, before you got started, it was like, or once you're done, just what it's like, hey, there's a $10 service fee
I
for
was
taking
going
this
to
money
say,
out.
like, what's the service fee there?
Do you want to still do this? And I'm like, I don't know that I'm super keen on that, but I'm here and this is what I was going to do. So fine, $10. And let me remind you that $10
USD.
down there is like 14 or 15 bucks Canadian.
Uh-huh.
Here, when you use it at an ATM, it's like $2 or $3 service.
It's a $3 service
Usually,
fee.
so it's significantly more than I'm used to paying. But I was like, fine, I would like to do a little bit of gambling. So I said yes, and then I was like, sounds good. Here's your exchange rate. Taking this $100 out, it's going to cost you $160. And I was like, well, that escalated quickly. And then I was like, fine.
It's a lot.
Accepted it, but then it was like, went through its thinking, and then it was like, your card doesn't want to allow this to happen. I don't know what it was. The deal was, if my bank's got some sort of protection on getting charged egregious fees or what. But it was like, nope, not today. And I was like, fine, that's all I needed. That was a third sign. Machine's not working, excessive charges. Now it's just not even going to work on the one I did find. Fine, yeah. I'm out. So I just didn't gamble.
Yeah, and I didn't gamble either. And it turns out I didn't even want to. Like, you put in way more of an effort than I did.
Yes.
I think if I would have had money, had I taken cash, maybe I would have. But I used to like playing blackjack. And then I got in trouble one time when I was at a blackjack table. And so now I don't. Somebody, like one of the other players, got mad at me because I was taking cards at the wrong time.
Oh, yeah, because you didn't know how to play the game properly.
Yeah, I was like
That'll
apparently
happen.
taking cards from them or something. And so...
has anybody commented their sound back now? I don't think they're going to, because it's like I still see that it's where I think it's supposed to be showing me their sound.
No,
It is
Scott
not.
said, man, it would be nice to hear what is being said.
Boy, that's tough, hey?
Do you think it's this? Like,
I really don't. All of our stuff is up. All of our settings are right. The cords are plugged in. The app is here. The app is showing me their sound coming into it. And for some reason, it's just not going to the... I don't know, to the right thing. It's not happening. Force internal mics. I can force this one, but I don't know that I really want to do that, but maybe that'll help them. Anyway, so that was Deck Expo. What else? They're going to have to not have sound today. If I continue to try to fix the sound, this episode is going to be awful because I'm going to be distracted doing that.
right.
So I feel like they're just out of luck. So that's too bad. Anyway, Deck Expo, how about the rest of it? I'll try one more thing here before
Okay, let's try
try
that
one more thing. Maybe I can even force internal mics. This might actually make a difference. No, I don't even think that did. Wild. I don't know. Sorry, folks. You don't get any today. What about the rest of Deck Expo? So we did a couple podcasts when we were down there. We did a couple podcasts at the Wear Deck booth with Owens Corning. We did one podcast at the Regal Ideas booth. Regal Ideas wasn't really showing anything new. They do have some new lighting SKUs this year that I don't recall if they actually had them at the show or not.
Yeah, they handed them to us.
Did they at the
Yeah.
show? Okay.
Yeah.
But Owens Corning absolutely did. And so,
Yep.
is that what they're seeing too? Are they seeing the video?
This is what's happening on my end of things right now.
Like this is I'm super confused why this is happening.
No, it looks like maybe that's it.
They're seeing that, but there's no sound.
Yeah, Westrom thinks we should use a sledgehammer.
Maybe we should.
Fixes technical difficulties.
Okay, well, what if I do this? Let me try something else. I'm going to try something else.
Yeah.
You keep talking. People love hearing from you anyway.
Okay, so the show, maybe some people will be curious how that show works because it's now partnered with Pool Spa Patio, and it used to be with JLC Remodeling, right? So Pool Spa Patio we thought was going to be fantastic because we were sure we were going to see patio stuff like pavers and blocks of some kind we thought we would see. We didn't see any of those. And I feel like that was a disappointment. That's a bit of a letdown. Like I would have assumed that somebody would have been there.
Yeah, I agree. I think I just fixed a problem. Keep talking, but
and then we did see a ton of, ooh, that's a lot. That's loud. You touched the end of that thing. We saw a ton of hot tubs. There was no less than 100 hot tubs there.
okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, I think I've solved this. Hopefully we can get on this.
There! Exclamation mark.
Son of a gun. There it was sitting right in front of me all along.
As it is.
You know, if we didn't treat this thing with such an emphasis on being live and not editable, I would start it over. But, okay, so now the distractions are gone. Deck Expo. Lots of hot tubs.
That's all there
You
is.
were saying, yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, I just assumed there would be more stuff for us to look at. I thought there'd be more, like, patio furniture and more, like, fire tables and, accessories that you would put on your patio.
Sure.
But there just wasn't. It was like a hot tub show.
Yeah, I would say I was also equally disappointed that there wasn't more backyard accessory type things. It was like, and the show is fine. If you sell hot tubs, you should be there.
Yep.
Unless you don't care about other brands and you've already got yours figured out, then you do you, boo. But for sure, we thought there might be a little bit more that might be relevant to us. And I would say we were disappointed.
Underwhelmed.
Yeah. So
I was surprised there wasn't a. I'm surprised like Tico Block wasn't there or Barkman or.
Yeah, I for sure thought at least the Patio Stone guys would be there, which again they were not. But
yeah,
so it is what it is. We spent most of our time in those 3 rows that were Deck Expo. Was it great? Yeah, it was great to be back there finally. We didn't go last year. From what I heard, the show last year was quite
slow,
not as busy as it should have.
Yeah,
been. Could have been.
Wasn't well attended.
Yeah, and so good to be back. First time we've been back in 3 years. We spent a ton of time in those 3 rows and still didn't really get on to look at everything and talk everything because we just spent so much time talking to people and standing in the aisles and schmoozing and whatever else. So that was good.
But
the podcast
like that's almost like 90% of why we go.
Yeah, that's a good chunk of the reason. Yeah,
I don't go there to think like we're gonna uncover some amazing product that we haven't heard of. If there's an amazing product, we usually hear about it.
After not being there for 3 years, there was certainly the chance for that to happen. And I would say that in a way, there was a couple things for sure.
Yep.
Like I really, really wanted to see the Wear Deck framing in person, the structural composite framing that they had out there. And they made it easy for us because they brought us in to do podcasts from the booth. So we had a chance to play with it and talk about it and everything else. So that was certainly an interesting product. Everything looks great about it. So we'll see where it goes.
Yep.
We'll see.
They're working on making it a little bit stronger, which I think is good. That's like,
yeah, just kind of be able to kind of like put their foot down on the spans a little bit and be more confident in what they're saying they can span.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the only thing where it's like, you just expect, and I think probably because steel has done it, but you expect alternative framing methods to wood to be able to span greater than wood because that's what we've been told is one of the major benefits of going to alternative framing is increasing spans.
Right. I think the reason they have to increase their spans is they have to do that to get to wood. It currently doesn't span as far as wood.
The Wear Deck you're talking?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, I think they said that it like it can. However, they're being conservative with their
Super spongy and
yeah, they don't want it to be a bad customer feel or experience. So they're being super conservative with their span numbers right now. So it'd be nice to see that certainly increase because that's an expectation that unfortunately is there. But everything aside from that, like the usability and the look of it and everything else is really, really good.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Camo is there with their new structural fasteners.
Yes.
So not super, super new. They've talked about them prior to the show, but at least if you hadn't seen them before, you had a chance to see them while you were there. Of course, Fortress Evolution was there with their steel framing products. Again, it's been out for a bit, but still new to some people.
It's always good to see those.
Nice display there. The one other cool thing that we saw, like I'm sure there's a few that I'm not even thinking about right now, but and oh boy, it's escaped me who had it there. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Oh, the company.
The cable rail system. Somebody in the chat will remind me. But, and I don't even know how to explain it because I didn't watch the live demo of it, but somebody showed us a video of it essentially. And we'd walked by and just didn't pay much attention. But it's cable rail panels that are pre-run or like threaded through the whatever. And you tighten them all with like a nut or something in the top rail. And as you tighten that nut, it tightens all the cables throughout the whole panel. And like, you don't have to worry about running your cables through the holes. It's pretty wild.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. So I'll have to look that up. I saw a post about it on Instagram recently too, and it reminded me of it. So that looked interesting. We should have spent some more time looking at that.
Yep.
I don't know that there was much else that I saw that was new.
So was it millboard? You looked
Right. Millboard. Yeah. So millboard's been out for a long time. It's the dominant composite board. God, I've become really comfortable with the saying it composite.
Back and forth. Hey, you can interchange that.
Yeah. Pretty ambidextrous with that word now.
Mm-hmm.
So with the composite board, it's been like, it's a UK board. So it's like, it's the number one board in the UK and even like Australia and I think other European markets, but it just hasn't made its way over to America until recently. Yeah. And so now it's here. There's a distributor. I think they're in like Minneapolis or Minnesota somewhere or Wisconsin or something like that.
Yeah.
And so it's a rubber capped board, I guess you'd say. With I believe it's like a limestone fiberglassy type core to it.
Yeah.
And so it's got a lot of benefits with like thermal stability. The texturing and embossing is actually like, whatever you want to call it. Like,
it's pretty cool.
It's like, how do you want to?
I'd call it hand scraped.
No, but like they basically take the actual embossing of a real oak board. And like map it, whatever. There's a word I'm looking for. I can't place right now.
We'll get it.
So the board, it's not like it's like
embossed.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, that's a neat embossing. It's like, no, that's actually like you're looking at what a real piece of oak actually looks like because that was taken from a real piece of oak.
Right.
So super realistic look to it.
Yes.
And then the most intriguing or social media post worthy feature of it is that rubber cap self-heals in a way. The fastener at least, right? If you cut a chunk, whatever, it's not going to.
Yeah.
But you drive a screw through it and just like countersink the screw, and when you pull your bit out, the rubber cap just goes
and the screw's gone.
Gonzo. Like,
so super good for install, probably not so good for removing.
Which is what everybody commented when we posted that video. Was like, good luck removing it. And my question is, be like, why? If you shouldn't build a deck to be removable. Yeah. Like it should be built to last, and you shouldn't have to remove it until it is so far gone that you're not trying to save it anymore. You're just like, take a Sawzall and cut it out of there.
The one thing that I didn't love about it was they were not willing to talk about fade and stain warranty.
Yeah, and that I believe is because there isn't one. So when we asked questions about the fade and stain warranty, the immediate answer was to...
well, what doesn't fade?
Yeah, the immediate answer was to attack the fade and stain warranties of competing products. And so
there was no...
You didn't answer what your product does, so clearly they don't have one.
Yeah.
That said, I don't know if it's a major issue or not. So I don't know. There's certainly some guys out there that could tell us because they've used millboard for a long time, but us on this side of the pond in the Americas are not as familiar with it. So
yeah,
I guess fill us in. Comment below. Let us know. Is it even an issue? Like, I don't know. And the fact that it's got like that softer rubbery cap leads me to believe that it probably doesn't scratch super easy because it's forgiving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you drag a nail across a tire, it's like it's got some flex. It doesn't doesn't cut like something that's more brittle does.
Yeah. Yeah.
And leads me to believe that it's probably got decent traction on it too. It's always hard to tell at shows because everything at a show has perfect traction.
Yes.
Because your shoes are clean. You've been walking on carpet all day. The deck is super clean. They probably they probably use some sort of like cleaner on it and it's tacky.
But like it's like a sticky cleaner though.
Yeah.
Right.
You got pine tar
With
smeared
honey.
all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's potentially not like, I don't know. It seems like it would, but who knows? I don't know. Anything else that sticks out for you?
That Starborn drill.
The Miro.
The Miro was pretty cool.
So that started to make some noise before the show, but it was there. So that was good.
Yep.
Have a look at that. It's just a collated, a gun with collated, like
color match screws.
color match screws for composite, essentially, that you can countersink, get ready for your plug systems, which is really good. And, probably just what wraps it up for the exciting things. There's more things there,
Obviously.
like that were existing that everybody knows about.
You know what wasn't there is Fibron wasn't there and Trex wasn't there in a booth.
Yeah.
TimberTech was.
TimberTech was there.
It looked like they just kind of decided last minute to be there.
Decorators was there.
Yep.
Fortress was there.
Yep.
For decking, Millboard was there. Moisture Shield was there.
Moisture Shield, but they
not
were,
Moisture Shield, like a distributor of Moisture Shield was there with Moisture Shield product.
Yeah. And I
So-
guess there was a Barkman logo there, so there may have been some tiles in that.
Yeah, a little bit of stuff there too. So, anyway, so that was Deck Expo. We met up with a lot of people we hadn't seen in a long time, which was really great. And we were there for a while. It felt like a long time that we were there. It was good to get home.
Yeah, it was a long one.
Then we came back home and ended up at Grey Cup for a couple days. And so for our American friends who don't know what Grey Cup is, think Super Bowl. It's just the championship game of the CFL, the Canadian Football League.
Yeah.
And so it's a big deal up here. It's a whole week of festivities. It's not just football on Sunday. It is like, it's very fan focused. It's very fan friendly. It's not super corporate. Like it is corporate, but it's not only corporate.
Yeah.
They are very welcoming to fans too. They put on a huge party the whole week.
Yep.
And so we missed most of it, but we got back in time to enjoy the festivities for one night. But tons of party rooms, tons of bands, tons of like outdoor activities, everything going on throughout the week. There's thousands of people that come down for it, and it's just a big shindig for a week.
Yep.
So we got out to the team rooms one night, which is kind of like, we've got this complex here in Regina that's 7 or 8 sheets of ice in one building, the Cooperator Center, plus a soccer complex and whatever else.
Yep.
And they basically they shut those down, they empty them out, and they set up team rooms in there. So every team or like division would have its own giant rink full of party atmosphere, and they decorate. They're in
Live bands
team
and
colors, and
bars
the cheerleaders there, and the bands and the bar, and like it's just a wicked party in every room. And so you just go in, and you can go from one room to the next, and without ever having to go outside because it was a little bit chilly.
Yep.
And great time. So we did that for the night, and then the next day was the game. Unfortunately, our Saskatchewan Roughriders were not anywhere near the game.
Nope. No.
Like didn't even really
Try.
make an effort to be there.
Yeah.
But the Toronto Argonauts and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers were, and it was a perfect Cinderella story. Toronto Argonauts were there, were the clear underdog.
Clear underdog.
Winnipeg was there, was clearly the class of the league, is clearly the best team, and has been since pre-COVID.
For a while.
They've won. They're on it. This would have been 3 in a row championships for them, which is like hasn't happened for a long, long time.
Yep.
And they're our natural rival. So Saskatchewan Roughrider fans generally will not cheer for Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and still will not. And so we cheered on the Toronto Argonauts to a victory.
Well, we had to try because
Grey Cup.
Regina's relatively close to Winnipeg. And so the Bomber fans showed up. Like it was a Bomber home game.
Oh, yeah. But most of the Rider fans were cheering for Argos. So as far as
we
the
were
noise in the stadium.
Yeah, we were trying to get it back a bit for them.
Yeah.
But
As far as the noise in the stadium, it sounded pretty equal. But that's because the Bomber fans that were there was actually like 10,000 Bomber fans there.
Yeah.
And it was just the other 28 or 18,000 or whatever it was.
my favorite
were
sign
Rough Rider fans.
my favorite sign I saw at the game was one. It was like I don't know who it was holding it up, but it was like anybody but the Bombers.
Yeah.
Was their sign, right?
I feel like that's how a lot of people were feeling about that whole situation.
So-
So
I think
there
you
was
got the camera angle wrong on this thing.
there was that.
Like showing the side camera.
Yes, I do. Here we go. How's that? Can you tell we've been off this for a while? Like, it should have been fixed now.
It's like we played hockey last night. My team played hockey last night.
Yeah.
We were awful.
Oh yeah.
Like awful. Nobody made a single pass. We could it was obvious we had not played hockey for a month.
So you've been off hockey for a month because of Grey Cup and Agribition. Shut all those rinks down.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I play on Sunday and I'm expecting much the same.
Oh boy. The 20-year-olds that we played against, they did not have much trouble
worst
getting
too.
back into the rhythm.
No.
But
they probably never stopped. They just found ice time elsewhere.
maybe.
So then it was on to the contractor events. We had a couple great events with Fortress. They came in and kind of did a bit of an appreciation event. Invited some contractors out, just casual, kind of games room / playing pool / if you have questions about Fortress framing or railing, whatever, have at her. But
Soft sell technique.
Yeah.
I really like that strategy.
I think it was great.
Yeah.
You were not forced to sit and listen to a presentation. You were not forced to consume something you didn't want to. It was just come have some drinks and some food. And if you have some questions, we absolutely can have a conversation about it.
And it turns out they all had questions.
Right.
And they ended up getting to the reps, Corey and Jason, ended up chatting with the contractors that were serious about it.
Yep.
And yeah, I think it was really good for everybody.
Yeah. It was really good. So that happened for 2 days, and then it was kind of get ready for Agribition. Now, Agribition, you and I always work at the shows because we actually kind of just enjoy, or at least I do. I think you do as well.
Yep.
We just enjoy being at the shows and talking to people, and it's just a change of scenery for us, really. Maybe not there this time. Maybe it was more of the same crowds and whatever that we could have needed a break. But regardless, we did the show and it was great. I ate, I don't know, no less than 4 brisket sandwiches during the week. And
what was your favorite food?
The brisket sandwich. And the ribs.
Mine was the chili, that brisket chili.
Brisket chili. So basically anything that came from prairie smoke. Prairie smoke? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Was amazing. The brisket chili, the brisket on a bun, the smoked ribs, everything was fantastic.
Pocket dog was underwhelming.
Yeah. Spent a lot of money too. Not as much as the Vegas food, but it was pricey.
Yep. Agribition was good. Bunch of new customers, new clientele, people through there, just some awareness.
And then we took my kids and my wife's family to the rodeo. So they have a rodeo 4 nights in a row, and the first night is a free night. So
Wednesday.
you get the Professional Bull Riders Association, or the Professional Rodeo Association, whatever it is, puts on it's like a sanctioned rodeo championship, whatever. And so the free night is that Wednesday. So we all went. It was packed in there, absolutely packed. And I had my 3-year-old and my 5-year-old there, and they had no idea what a rodeo was.
Sure.
Nor did we really try too hard to explain it to them. It's you're going to see it in a minute. Just don't worry about it. And then as it happened, I realized how freaking crazy this would be to see for the first time. Because I was sitting behind, it was in the arena. I was sitting in the row behind my sons, and so I could see them kind of sitting there, and you don't see much before the horse. The first thing up is the whatever you call it, the bronc riding.
Okay.
Horse riding.
Yep, bronc.
And so when they're in the stalls, you don't really see much. You see the cowboy sitting on top, but you can't really see much of a horse or whatever, and you don't know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
And then that door opens.
Yeah.
And holy hell, if you've never seen this before, I've seen it a lot. So to me, it's I knew exactly what's happening. But these little 5-year-old and 3-year-olds must have been just shitting themselves.
Yeah.
They're whoa, what's going on? Why is he doing that? Why is the horse doing that? Leave the horse alone. Get it. They weren't concerned for the horse. They just thought it was great.
Yeah.
But how crazy would it be to see that? A horse jumps out and is just kicking 10 feet in the air, and the cowboy's riding. And he's just getting the snot beat out of his brain and flying around. And it's
and
that
then they
is
fly off.
action packed. Yeah.
Right.
And then get bucked off 10, 15 feet in the air, and then, or not. And then you got these other 2 horses that come riding upside, and he jumps from horse to horse. And it's what the hell is going on? It's such a crazy thing. So anyways, that
you should have followed that up with
wild.
With taking the boys out to then go ride horses at a stable somewhere. Be like, okay, boys, let's go.
Good luck. So yeah, pretty wild experience for them, I'd have to think. I left with my one son because it was getting late a little bit early, but the 5-year-old wanted to see the bull riding, so I didn't get to see his response to that. But that's even crazier. It's how about let's okay, that was cool.
That was pretty cool.
How about we ditch the saddle, put a helmet on you, because this is really going to smash your brain around.
Yep.
And then a bigger animal that's angrier.
So the helmet thing, when we were growing up, guys never wore helmets, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of helmets now. Yeah.
Yeah. That's because of that bull. The bull's name was Bodacious. Did you ever watch a documentary on this?
No.
So I believe there's a 30 for 30 on it, and the bull's name is Bodacious, and he learned how to get rid of cowboys.
Okay.
And so he would dive forward and then throw his head back.
Yeah, I remember this now. Yeah.
And so they'd be riding and they would like land and gravity would pull them forward, like force would pull them forward.
Yeah.
And then he would throw his head back and just like obliterate them.
Yeah.
Nobody could ride that bull. And they ended up taking it out of the circuit because like he was
literally going to kill people.
Yeah. I don't think he did kill anyone, but yeah, that was his intent.
Was well on his way.
Yeah. And so they were like, well, he's unrideable now because he's learned how to do this. Lots of them will come out and spin. Yeah. And that's kind of like, that's the fun part. When they start to like dive and go back and forth like the Bronx do, then it's dangerous.
Yeah. So pretty crazy turn of events in that, from like sitting down, grabbing some popcorn, and then the action starts. And it's like fun night out to somebody's going to die. So pretty cool.
So then now that's done. We get into the office and you get slammed with bookings. It is now time for you to purchase material.
Yeah. And so I don't remember what happened. I don't remember what happened Monday. Monday was my intent is like, I'm going to go into my office and I'm just going to close the door and I don't want to talk to anybody. And I was like, I got here and I was like, we have a meeting at 10. Yeah. Come on. And then the afternoon, I can't remember. Something happened too. Like I was at my computer for like an hour that day. Yeah. Total write-off. Yep. And then, Tuesday. So anyways, that's what I've been preoccupied with. I saw while we were away, the emails coming in. Bloom. Booking for whatever.
Said thing.
Flyron, whatever it is. And I'm like, yeah. If they're smart, they'll give me some time. They don't want this back tomorrow. That'd be crazy. But yeah, some of them were due while we were away. Some of them were due like right when we got back. And so now I'm playing catch up trying to get those things done. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to analyze your data and figure out what you're going to purchase for next year. And like, we've had some systems issues that have been playing with the reliability of our data. And so that plays into things. And then seeing what the offers are out there and potentially negotiating some things and communicating back and forth. And do you want to make any product changes going into next year? And like, it all happens right now.
Yeah. So I don't know. Do we have a direction on this podcast? Or like, we loosely talked about maybe the ideas.
So far, no.
No, right? It's like
so far it's been pretty.
Might be the worst.
We're just talking about where we've been for the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah,
chronologically, we're getting there.
We have one viewer. I believe that's me.
Good. Well, that's fine.
So I think that what we were talking about is, if you're a contractor, this is maybe your time. This is now maybe your opportunity to talk to your suppliers and let them know, voice your opinion about if you want something changed, if you want to add a product into the lineup, or if you want to, have them consider bringing something in for you.
Yeah.
This is the time to do that because it's when they will purchase the best, right? They probably, like as a supplier, you have a better opportunity right now to put a new product in because you'll get some support and you'll have some time to actually do it as well, right?
Yeah.
So I think that was sort of some of the value we had talked about for this podcast was like, we'll just contractors go to your lumber yards if there's something.
Yeah, because it's not much is going to change during the season because the kind of the terms for the year have been set. It's like the negotiating and the whatever else happens now. And it's like, this is what you're going to buy it for the year. And this is when like all the details are ironed out for the coming season. And then it just gets too busy to want to be changing things at that point. Now it's just like placing and taking orders all year and like whatever. So now's the time to make those changes. So now's the time too. And so it's a good time for Deck Expo to go down and see new products. Because if there's something new you want to bring in, now's the time to look at it, figure out the details so it could be here in the spring. Yeah. And if there's lines you're looking to get out of, it's like you're going to figure that out now because you're not going to book those.
Correct.
So, yeah. And if there's issues you're having with certain vendors and you're not jiving for whatever reason, now's the time when it's pretty easy to be like, let's figure this out, or no thanks,
or just like nothing.
So there's been a couple of those that's been like some emails sent back and forth. It's like this relationship is not working for us, and we need it to work for us.
It's not me, it's you.
It needs to be mutually beneficial, and if it's not, then it doesn't make sense for us. So. I don't know if there'll be changes this year, but there could be some big ones. So
could be a few changes.
Yeah. So can't really get into details of those, especially not yet. But that's what we're like. Those bookings are due anywhere between like 2 weeks ago and January 31st. So that time period of like November to January is a very busy time with booking material and getting all that stuff ready. Plus, then you have time off at Christmas. It's your year end. So you're probably running through an inventory there at some point. You're probably going to want to do some year end staff meetings with your own staff to kind of like wind things up and prep for next year and everything else. So it's people are like, what do you do in the winter? It's like, I've not been felt more behind than right now. Like this is a very, very busy time.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, nobody builds deck in the winter. It's like, you probably got still, I don't know what you have. But
I got 3 left to do.
Projects that are still like happening right now to look over. And some contractors are still coming in and doing stuff and whatever. Like there's still people coming through the store. Not a ton, obviously, but we're busy with office work. So, we'll get the social media stuff going again here. It's just taking need a little bit of time to catch up for feels like a priority again.
What do we got coming up? We got Christmas coming up right away.
Yeah, well, we have some next week. We have our quarterly meeting with our leadership team. We have our staff party that night.
Yeah,
Christmas party. We're doing it with both stores together. Then we have a contractor Christmas party on the Friday in Regina.
Yes.
The Saskatoon one, I believe we're going to wait until after the New Year to do.
That's the plan. Yeah.
And then we're open until the 22nd-ish, I think, and then we shut down for Christmas. We always do this, and I don't regret it.
I think it's a fantastic idea.
It's slow anyway. Most of the contractors are also taking that same time off, that stretch between Christmas and New Year's. So there's no point in making our staff spend time away from their families to sit around here and answer the phone once if it maybe rings.
It's not going to do anything. Yeah.
So you might as well just give people the time off to go recharge your batteries, come back, start fresh in the new year, and get after it. So we're closed from December 20. I think 22nd we're open. That's the last day we're open.
That's a Thursday.
And we come back on January 3rd, I think.
Tuesday.
So it's like a week and a half, just shy of 2 weeks
that
we'll have off. So that'll be good for everybody. I'll get a lot of bookings on that time, and there won't be distractions.
Yeah.
It's like, that'll be good. Time
Except
to catch
like
up for
your
you and I.
family. Except your family. They might distract you.
Yeah. But that's okay. There'll be time for them too. But it's just like a time for, like, I don't expect our staff to work over that time, but you and I will probably like catch up a little bit or whatever, or I certainly intend to. So that'll be good. And get out of town, not to Vegas and not to a show and not to crowds or whatever, and just
go ice fishing.
Spend some time with family too. I don't think I'll make it ice fishing, but
do you want to try?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go in between the Christmas and New Year.
Sounds good.
For a day.
So then I'll go ice fishing too then.
Okay.
Speaking of which, I've got family functions happening tonight and family over, and I was supposed to be home an hour ago. So I think we've probably
time to go.
There was the timeline up until what we're doing today. So there you have it.
Episode 200. So different than 100.
So that's the other thing too. I really feel like these episode things have kind of like, they've lost their, like we've actually posted like 215 episodes or 220 episodes now.
Yeah.
We just don't give episode numbers to episodes that were sponsored or the tens episodes. We don't, I'm kind of feel like maybe we just need to get away from it.
Speaking of tens, did you get anybody to throw anything back at you yet?
No. And so that's another thing thanks for the reminder that I wanted to touch on today.
And there was a few guys that were like, yeah, we'll get that done.
Yeah. So the tens episodes, if you haven't listened to one yet, is, it's called tens because it should be in 10 minutes or less. And it's not with us. It's just open mic for a industry person, contractor, a vendor, whatever, to talk about whatever topic they want in 10 minutes or less. And we just intro it and then let them speak on whatever that topic is. The plan was to kind of post it every Thursday. However, I'm finding that maybe just because of the time of year, it's very difficult to keep that filled up with those episodes coming in as frequently as we need them to. So I think maybe it's just gonna be like when somebody sends one in, we'll edit it up and get it posted. It may not be on a schedule. But if you want to contribute, my only request is if you're a vendor, don't come on there and use it as an advertising platform. That's not its intent. I don't want to learn about all your products and why everybody should buy them.
Right.
But if you have a story about how you got into the industry or
Western would have a good story.
Different things like that, then
it's a family-run lumberyard.
More than open. Yeah. That's what we want to hear is like the origin stories or like tips and tricks you did in your business or like guidance for other people. Like it should be kind of like those little bit of deeper conversations.
Yeah.
And if you're interested in doing it, go to www.tuds.ca/tens. So tuds.ca/TENS. And there's a little bit of instructions there on how to record. You can do it right on your phone. Just click a button, record your episode, and then email it. And it goes to me, and I throw it up. So if you want to do that, do that.
Okay.
Aside from that, that's it for me, Wade. What about you?
Yep, that's it.
That's it?
I don't
Okay.
have anything.
Well, we'll be back on our weekly schedule now. So,
Yeah.
sorry for the hiatus.
We'll
We
put
needed
some
it.
effort into next week as well.
We just needed that little bit of a break. It's been really busy. So, we'll see you next week.
Hey, thank you for listening to the Ultimate Deck Podcast. Now you know what we're about. Check the site, come and shop. UltimateDeckShop.com. Hit us right away for sponsorships, or tell us if you want to collaborate. Let's go. Check us out on any social networks. Thank you for listening.